Okay, so Joe, now we're talking about the final project. The final project was an optional project that each student got to choose exactly what they wanted, and you sat down with the instructor and you planned it together to match something that you were really interested in. So, how did you go about choosing that final project?
I wanted to make sure I chose a project that I can do really well on, and it was easy for me to do, and to get a really good grade on. So I picked drawing a floor plan for my final project, which enables a student to have to measure up the square footage of all the rooms in the house, and um, uh, like the foundation plan, the first floor plan, the second floor plan. So that made it like something I wanted to do, because I also did a floor plan when I was in high school. So it was something that I haven't done in a while. So I was really looking forward to doing it.
More than just a little while, Joe. It's been quite a few years since you had done anything with that.
Since '87, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So yeah.
So, Joe, do you want to show us the project that you did?
Certainly. As you can see right here, I started off with my first floor plan right here. And to have a first floor plan, I mean, that's where the rest of the plans go hand in hand. First, you got to get your how many rooms you want. For example, you have your two-car garage, you have your dining room, you have your porch, and you can see all the square footages I have all around. Window placements with the dimensions I had in here, and then I would move to the second floor. I made sure that I wrote on my plan that room was open to below, to show the person that was reading the print how to build it and whatnot. And, just make sure that I had all my windows placed in there. And to get the extra square footage, I would have to measure the width times the length of all the rooms in the house. And not to mention to the outer dimensions. You had to have all your outer dimensions. And then that brought me down to do my foundation plan. What's the house going to sit on? So basically what I did is you put your print on top of your first floor plan print, because that's where your foundation sits on. And then I just went ahead and drew what kind of support was needed to balance all the weights of the first and second floor on the plan. A cross-section plan of what the foundation would look like and how deep it had to be below the ground level. Matter of fact, it had to be at least 42 inches or 4 feet below the frost line for that foundation plan. And then the final one was the front elevation, and it being time consuming and close to the end of the semester, I wanted to make sure I had enough prints in here. So this was something I really enjoyed doing. I still got more paper, and I can do more drawings if I wanted to. So yeah, this was an excellent learning process, and it taught me how to add up all the square footages in the house and turn it in, and everybody seemed to like it.
So, Joe, how many hours did you spend on this project?
Oh my. I believe we started doing our last individual project. Was it around Thanksgiving?
It was before Thanksgiving
Before
break.
Thanksgiving. So it was like I had a week to work on this. So once I had all my fill from turkey dinner, I just concentrated in the dining room of the house and on a regular flat board, and some drafting equipment I purchased at Hobby Lobby. I went ahead and just put all this together. I would say about a good 30 to 35 hours, making sure I had everything down the way I wanted it. And the time-consuming part was drawing your shingles and then coloring in my field stone areas and stuff like that. But it was enjoyable, I won't, and I was really impressed on, how students were reacting when I showed these prints to them. As a matter of fact, we showed Jerry Trick that one day, and he was really impressed with it. So, I'm glad I chose this project.
So, Joe, would you say that project learning is something that other students would benefit from, learning math through projects and not so much through lecture approach?
Yeah, just like hands-on learning and doing these side projects and stuff kind of goes hand in hand with what you're doing within the course, a certain area you are in the course. Yeah, I would say so.
Do you think you could do an entire math class with project learning?
Um, you could, but you still do need to sit down and have stuff on the board too, just to show you um, things to do, how you need to work a problem out. Not to mention, I can't stress enough, if you don't understand something when you're learning math, or whether it's 100, math 135, 103B, or whatever, make sure you visit the math lab and put your hours in. Not trying to brag or anything, but I put 119 hours of math lab time in for math 100 so I could pass. So, yes. Yeah.
But in a sense, that was a project in and of itself.
Yeah, yeah. Math lab was. Matter of fact, when we had to do our some of the projects that we would work on, we would go to the math lab and make sure, hey, are we getting this area of our project right? I think there was one where we're doing circumferences, and getting the pi, kind of seeing if the pi is matching to that. It's been a while since I had math now. I mean, I've been almost a semester now, but we had to go to the math labs to make sure we were doing it right. And hands down, the everybody in the math lab, including Miss Broyles, Sydney, Weston, Anthony, and who was the other? Dustin. They were really helpful. Even some of the tutors in there that weren't math tutors. Who was the one that done the chemistry part of it? Was that
Jacob.
Jacob, whenever he didn't have anybody busy, or when he wasn't busy with anybody, he would walk around and, hey, do you need any help? And so hands down, the projects, the individual projects, the lectures, the hands-on. All make it worthwhile a learning experience, and to get through something that a student may have trouble having in math in college.
Do you think that this pathway of doing an applied math course that's a little bit different from an algebra pathway, do you think that it is something that more students should try to do?
Yes, if that's what their degree plans are, it only requires like a Math 100. I've seen the difference between Math 103B and then Math 100. I was not able to do the Math 103B due to the fact that it was a summer course and I had to learn everything in a span of 8 weeks instead of the 16 weeks. So, maybe if I had more time to do 103B in like a full semester, I would have probably been able to pass it. But, having the hands-on in Math 100 and, the applied part of it, the workings of math in daily life, makes it a big difference when you're learning something in math.
Okay.